There was a time at Disney where it's like I just had, you know, just drawing things. I've done a few movies, so they just feel like, oh, okay, go ahead. They were just into it. I think that they saw a very simple story, so they just sort of, you know, just said, okay, you know.
I think kids like to be a bit scared, you know, as long as there's, you know, something right after that says everything's okay. With Beetlejuice, the first thing I worked on with Tim, there's a darkness to it and kind of a bit of creepiness to it and otherworldliness to it, but there's always a light spirit, I think, about it and about Tim's work. You know, his characters like Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice even, in some way, they're kind of these odd outside characters that, you know, are trying to fit in and trying to be close to people and trying to find love. And so I think there's always a sweetness to his work, even though he seems to love the dark too. There's always a lightness that pulls you out of it and goes, it's okay.
Just because I cannot see it doesn't mean I can't believe it.
It's a story about Jack Skellington, who runs Halloween Town. It's this place somewhere where Halloween comes from. Jack Skellington, the main character, feels a sense of loss. Something's missing in his life. And he goes to this place in the forest, and he comes to Christmas Town, where their job is to do Christmas every year. He goes back to Halloween Town with the idea of doing Christmas this year, instead of Christmas doing Christmas. The main character plays Sally, a girl who's really in love with Jack Skellington, and she senses that this is not something he should be doing, that he's in over his head.
I voiced the character of Oogie Boogie, who's probably the weirdest inhabitant of Halloween Land. I mean, he's so crazy and so out there that he lives underneath the ground. He's not even above the ground. But the way the story unfolds, he really has a great time down there. I mean, he has all his slot machines and all of his fun stuff going on. He's kind of wild. He's a wild character.
'Cause I'm a gambling boogeyman, although I don't play fair.
It's called the Oogie Boogie song. It's a great song. I mean, it's all about the fact that Santa Claus is there. I would imagine that Oogie has heard about Santa Claus for a long time and has never met him. You're the Santa Claus I've been hearing about. This is ridiculous. You're old, you're ugly, what's the big deal?
Well, well, well. What have we here?
They did all the animation after. They had a video reel of the storyboard sort of done in segments so that I could get a sense of what the whole sequence would be like. And then I went in and recorded the song.
Bye-bye, doll face and Sandman.
You start doing voices and you know, from reading it, and they sent me the pictures, you know, all the drawings of Sally, and that kind of gives you an idea of how she might sound. I actually, at the beginning, tried to do more of a broken voice because I thought her voice is, you know, is stitched up as her body. But that kind of thing I just think can get in the way after a while. It's like, okay, enough with the broken voice. So they basically just wanted it natural. You know, you go in with ideas and then they say, yeah, and try this and try that, and yeah, you come to it.
But it seems wrong to me.
I definitely think of her as younger than me, but I don't know. It's funny with animation. I don't think anybody mentions age. They kind of want these characters to be timeless. I did a lot of Sally on my own, but I had 1 or 2 sessions with Chris Sarandon, who does the speaking voice of Jack. And of course, I did my singing. The last scene where Sally and Jack sing together, I did that with Danny. And Danny directed my singing.
And sit together now and forever.
Part of it's a duet, so you have to work out a range between, you know, it's good for both of your voices, and that's hard. Sometimes it's higher than you want it to be. But I actually wanted to sing higher than I'm used to because it seemed right for Sally. At some points I'd sound like, you know, a choir boy. I excused it by saying, you know, Sally's not that well formed, so it's okay that she can't sing that well.
For it is plain, as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be.
It'll be a holiday classic. I don't know, who could say, you know? It's like, I feel really good about the movie, you know, I love it, and it's a beautiful job. So I don't know, I'll watch it every year, I don't know. My own personal holiday classic.
He creates a world that's very unique. All of his films have that one unique thing about them. His vision is very clear.
Oh, I'd love to work with him again. He's doing Ed Wood right now, and I don't know what he's doing next. But he's also, I'm grateful that we've all been friends since Beetlejuice, all the people that worked on that. So even if I don't get to work with him, I like being his friend. He's a good guy.
The Pumpkin King!
It's a brand new fairy tale, and it incorporates 2 of the holidays that we love the most, and that hasn't happened to date, to my knowledge. The fact that it's not a copy of something else, it doesn't sort of incorporate another fairy tale other than The Night Before Christmas a little bit, it's really unique, and I think in that, just the generation that's being introduced to it for the first time will carry it forward and on to their kids and after that and so on. And then, you know, we're big kids too, we're all going to be hanging around looking at it for a few years, I think.
Thirsty for more celeb news? Make sure you subscribe to the E! News YouTube channel so you can stay informed on all the breaking updates. Come on, you know you want to be the first to know about all the latest hookups, breakups, arrests, and so much more.